Many people who promote high levels of immigration often assert that we need it to save Social Security. They argue that without continuing record levels of legal and illegal immigration, there will not be enough workers to pay for Social Security or support the economy. Actually, a good deal of research has been done on these questions by demographers, the people who actually study human populations, and there's a widespread agreement that immigration has only a small impact on the aging of American society. Immigrants do tend to arrive relatively young, and it is also true that they tend to have somewhat larger families than native-born Americans. So there is an inherent plausibility to the idea that immigration can significantly slow the aging of American society. But it turns out the effect is quite small. We can actually see this by simply looking at the 2000 census. The average age of an immigrant in 2000 was 39 years, compared to 35 years for a native-born American. This reminds us of something obvious but important. Immigrants grow old just like everyone else. Today's immigrants become tomorrow's retirees. And although immigrants do have somewhat more children on average, the differences with natives are not large enough to undo the aging of our society. Consider specifically the looming fiscal crisis in Social Security. According to the Social Security Administration, if legal immigration was reduced 41%, a very substantial cut, it would increase the Social Security deficit by just 4% over the next 75 years. In truth, it's unlikely that the small projected benefit from legal immigration actually even exists. In its projections, the government assumes that immigrants will have wages and resulting tax payments as high as natives from the moment they arrive. This is contrary to a very large body of research showing that legal immigrants are poorer than natives when they first arrive. Consequently, the tax payments will be lower as well. This matters because the Social Security system is redistributive in nature, paying more generous benefits to lower income taxpayers relative to what they pay in compared to the benefits it pays to higher income taxpayers, again, relative to their contributions. By treating immigrants as average taxpayers from the moment they arrive, the Social Security Administration is overestimating the small positive impact of legal immigration. Now, the lower income of immigrants also matters because of the Earned Income Tax Credit, which pays out cash to low-income workers. The IRS states specifically on its website that the Earned Income Tax Credit is designed to refund most of the Social Security taxes low-income peoples pay. My own research shows that legal immigrants are more than twice as likely as natives to receive this cash payment. While not directly part of the Social Security system, one cannot ignore the fact that so many legal immigrants get the money they pay into Social Security back directly through the Earned Income Tax Credit. But even if one ignores this cash payment, and one also ignores the lower average income of immigrants, the fact remains that the government's own projections show that legal immigration has only a small impact on Social Security. As for illegal aliens, some do pay into the Social Security system, but it's estimated to be equal to only about 1 or 2% of the program's expenditures. And this tiny benefit only exists if we keep them illegal. If we legalize them, then they would be able to draw on the system and the small benefit would disappear. Now, the underlying reason immigration does not save Social Security, as some immigration boosters imagine, is that immigration does not dramatically change the number of workers relative to the number of retirees. Currently, about 1.6 million new legal and illegal immigrants settle in the country each year. Here at the Center for Immigration Studies, we've projected that the current level of immigration will only offset about 12% of the aging that would otherwise take place by 2060. Thus, even assuming the current record level of both legal and illegal immigration, and assuming it continues for more than 50 years, the overwhelming majority of aging will still occur. Now, one reason immigration has a small effect on aging is that Americans have significantly more children than do people in other nations, say compared to Europe. Now, where immigration does have a very large impact is on the overall size of the population. The current U.S. population is about 300 million. If both legal and illegal immigration continue at the current level, it will add 100 million more people to the U.S. by 2060. That's equivalent to about 13 New York cities. Now, this 100 million people is from immigrants who have not yet come, but who will come, plus their descendants, assuming we don't change our policies. The bottom line is that immigration makes for a much larger overall population and a much more densely settled America. But it does not fundamentally change the fact that America is growing older. As the Census Bureau itself stated in a report released in 2000, immigration is, quote, highly inefficient means for increasing the share of the population that is comprised of workers. America will simply have to look elsewhere to meet the challenges created by an aging society.
For the studies used in this video and others, please visit www.cis.org.